Okay, so we have taken the Hot Wheels Video Racer, taken that apart, and what we found is that the battery on the inside, right there, is not replaceable. And I don't have the skills to be able to dismantle that and reattach it. So best I could come up with is why not just make a brand new video racer. The original, came out about 12 years ago, and the camera is not. It wasn't that good, and so why not just make something completely different, completely new, and that is what I intended to do. So I went online and found a. Turns out you can just search for spy cameras, and there are lots of everyday objects that have cameras hidden inside them, and all I had to do was just find one. And the one I found turns out to be this one. It is supposed to look like a USB flash drive, which it actually is because it does plug into the USB drive. But on this end, there's a little camera. That little square right there, the camera is behind there. And then it has settings for off, motion detection, and just standard kind of camera operation, which is kind of cool. But the most important thing is that the width, it is not, I mean, it is wide enough that it can sit on, let's say, the video racer. And this is our launcher here. And the cars go into this launch channel. So, for example, drop a car here. This is the launch channel that the cars are in. And it's important that the video racer, because the regular video racer, the thing was you could put it into the launcher, fire it down the track, and then you get that first-person perspective and view of what it looks like for a car to go down our track. So the key with trying to make a new video racer is guaranteeing that the camera is not too wide. So that's why I selected this one, because it is, as you can see, it's just wide enough to fit in here in the launcher, so that means we can launch it out. The problem now is what to attach this camera to. It needs to be on a base. This is the base for the video racer. After I took it apart, and it's all plastic wheels, plastic base, which was fine when the whole thing was put together. But I was thinking about how to attach this camera to this base, and obviously something would need to be put into place to kind of lift this up just a bit. So the thing I threw in initially was just put a dice right there, and that would allow. So if I actually, connected these parts, that would allow the camera to be lifted above the wheels, and still roll down the track. My problem with this option is that the body and that base is plastic. And if you've watched any of our races on At the Track Live, every Saturday at 11 a.m. Pacific on YouTube and Twitch, the launcher that I created, which is this thing, fires the cars out with so much force that when they crash, especially if we almost now have banned open wheel cars because they come out with so much force that if they crash, they hit the the wheels hit the barrier and the axles bend. And once those Hot Wheels axles are bent, the car is pretty much toast. There's nothing else that we're going to be able to do with it. So I just am hesitant to use bodies of cars or any kinds of cars for this project and this base that are not solid enough to withstand a crash. I'm not worried about the camera so much because however it was attached, then it would probably either break loose, but the camera body's pretty solid and the camera's kind of tucked inside, so I'm not worried about the camera getting damaged in the crash. I'm just worried about just putting on a cheap kind of plastic body and that not being able to withstand a crash. So this base is out, and I have some other candidates that I was considering for this task, and there's a number of them, but I think one of the things that I also realized I have to consider is weight. So I'm going to see right here with our track, what we found is that the best weight for cars to perform well on our track is between 32 and 36 grams. That is what we have decided is the sweet spot. And this camera, turns out it weighs 0. What are we looking at there? This camera is weighing in at a big, hefty 34.7 grams, which is not bad, and it's fine for a car to be on the track. Because what we don't want is if we fire this video racer, this new video racer that we make, fire that down the track behind another car, we want it to at least be able to keep up somewhat so that it can get a view of the other car going down the track as well as the first person perspective. So we've got to kind of try and balance out the weight. So I found some bases, so let me just write this down. So 34.7 is the camera. Now, probably the lightest base that I would find would be this one from the video racer, which, with the die, weighs 13.4. But if I remove the dice, that drops down to 7.7. So this is definitely the lightest, but like I just said, it's not the most stable. It's all plastic, and the plastic is really flexible, and it wasn't designed to withstand the kind of impact that it's likely to face if I shoot this thing down the track. So especially now when it had the whole video racer body attached, it made it a little more stable, but we wouldn't be attaching anything else to it. So what are some of the other options? So we've got the plastic base from the video racer. Now there's this one, which is one of the, I forget which specific version this is, but there's different Hot Wheels cars that have these Lego indentations, so you can attach Legos to the cars, which is kind of cool. So if we go with this, just the base of this one, it has some other parts, but I took those off. We're talking about 25.2 grams, and that is just a flatbed Lego, kind of Lego racer. I think this is the bricking delivery truck is what it's labeled and what it's called. So there is that one. That's an option at 25.2 0.2 grams. Then this is one that I modified on the last episode. This is the zoom in, which was a Hot Wheels GoPro collaboration that they did, and you could take a GoPro, I believe it was a Hero 5 camera. It was a cube, and it sat right here in that center section, and it could go down a Hot Wheels track. Not our track, because the edges, it had two edges on either side that would hold the camera in place, because the camera was a cube and this is like a little rectangular opening. So there were pieces on the side to hold that camera in place. I cut those off to just leave the sled, and this would actually work because you could put the this camera right on top. But let's see what the base weighs. The base weighs 35.9 grams, which is a little, not a little, it's heavy because it's already at the top end of where we want cars to be. And if you're considering that the camera itself also weighs 35 grams, now we're up to 70 grams. So you're twice as heavy as where we ideally want the cars to be. Because usually when we get into cars that are in the 40 gram range, they are not, that's considered heavy on our track. And those cars are noticeably slower than many of the other cars. But so yeah, so if we put the camera on top of that, now we're up to 70 grams. Even though this is, so far, this is the most stable and likely to perform well base that we have, but it is a metal base, so that's good. Standard Hot Wheels wheels. And this upper part is just plastic, so there's not really a lot of weight to cut. I mean, I could take off the center section where this arrow is, take that off, but we're not really going to be saving any weight because the majority of the weight is going to be coming from that metal base and the wheels. So that's an option, the zoom in. Now, some other options that would require some modifications would be this one with the governor. And I'm really just looking for Hot Wheels cars that are flat across the top so that I can just easily attach the camera. But the governor weighs in at 36.2 grams. So with the governor, it doesn't really make any sense to use that or to even get involved in trying to modify it, because it's not significantly less weight than the zoom in, and the zoom in is already set up to pretty much take the camera. So no point in using this car or modifying it or damaging it or doing anything to it, because it just wouldn't work. So that's out. We have this one, the Formula Solar, I think I've been calling it. This weighs in at 28.3 grams, which is pretty good. It's not the best. It's not 7.7 grams like the Video Racer, but it's not too bad. The question is, what would I have to modify? And also, by the time I modify it, those grams would probably come down to maybe 35. So let's see. So this green part actually comes off. So I can take that off. See how much that changes the weight. So now we're down to 24.7. And so that actually did, that was, you know, kind of significant. Um, so when we remove the cover, we're down about 4 grams. And with this one, I would definitely have to trim down and cut off this fin, this part, just so that the camera could kind of lay flat. But then right here with the wheels, I'd have to do something to raise the camera up. Like I'd have to put something on there, because otherwise the camera would be sitting right on the wheels, and that's no good. Can't have that. The other issue is that this is an open wheel car, which I definitely do want to avoid, because again, one crash, even though with the camera attached, this probably wouldn't be able to move fast enough to have one of those catastrophic crashes like we've seen many times on the track. But it's possible. It is possible. And cars like this, they come off, they hit we have barriers that hold the track in place, and they come off, they hit that barrier. These open wheel cars, the axles get bent, and the car is no good. So even though this one has some potential, the fact that it's an open wheel car kind of takes it out of the running. And then there are a couple others. Let's see. We've got the Turbo Sublime, which is pretty much, it's got a little raised part right there that I think this is would be a problem, because the question would be, how do I keep the camera, how do I keep it flat when it's got this kind of bubble there? But let's go ahead and crack this open and just see. So this one weighs in at 31.8 grams, and that is that's still a little more. I think if we could get it down, something 20 grams would be great. Less than 20 would be spectacular. But I don't know that the camera will be able to balance, because if I put the camera here, you can see it's just kind of, it's rocking on that point, and I don't see that there's a way for me to keep it straight and prevent it from wobbling around. So if we put it here, it's gonna wobble, yeah, because this dome, so the camera's either rocking from side to side or front to back, and that's no good. But I suppose I could just shave this down, crack that open, shave it down. And matter of fact, if I did crack this open and just sort of removed the dome and just kind of flatten this out, then the camera would probably sit pretty securely just right on top. So that's something that I may be able to do. Just kind of file it down and then have it there. So this is still a candidate. I'm just wondering how much I'd have to cut it down, because there is still seems to be an angle that even if I cut it down, the camera, well, I guess it could sit like that. If I cut that dome, shave this all the way down, then I suppose that the camera could, yeah, that could work. So, yeah, we'll see. All right. let's see, what do we have next? The next option is the one that I'm most excited about, the one that I think is probably going to be the one. This one, the Skate Grom, which is this Tony Hawk inspired skating, skateboard, Hot Wheels thing. So let's go ahead and crack this open and take a look. Alright, so the Skate Grom is weighing in at 27.1, which is already one of the best options that we have come across so far. 27.1 grams, but we can remove the skater. So once we remove the skater, what do we have?
Here's what I found.
No, I didn't ask any of that. Okay, so now we're down to 22.8. So we lost about 5 grams on that by just removing the skater. So I think that is already making this one of the best options, because even with the Turbo Sublime, if the only thing I'm talking about taking off is just this part, I don't know that that's going to bring it down, because it was 31.8 grams. How much is that actually going to take this down? But I am looking under here, and you can see right in there, there's a little pillar back there. That seems to be coming up to this point right here. So I might be able to cut out this whole middle section. So everything in front of that pillar. And then I presume there's one in the front, but I don't see it. Let me see if I can get some light in here. I don't see one there in the front, but I think I could probably just shave this down. Turn this off. I could shave this down, basically shave this whole dome down, cut out this section, also cut out everything in front of that little pillar, and basically remove this whole kind of center section. Possibly. And if I could do that, then maybe that would take some of the weight down. Let's just see if I can make a quick cut with this. It's going to take a little more. Something cracked. Oh, pieces and parts are flying up and off. Am I still in front of that pillar? Basically. Oh, now this white part is starting to come up. And as long as I don't damage the base, it's okay. If I can come in from this side. Alright, so now we have effectively kind of cut that part, and it's still in front of the pillar. And now this, let's see what's happening here. Does this white part just want to detach? That would be fantastic. There's a little... Oh no. So the white part is still, like, I can mess with the splitter. It just kind of raises and lowers the splitter. But I do have to, I'd have to cut through there. Well, let's see. It's not like this. I have another one of these, so this isn't see if we can cut through here. And I'm just curious to see how much weight can be removed. Let's see. All right, we're making some progress. Cutting up the Turbo Sublime. This car is just getting chopped. 2 pieces. Pull that off. Now we've got this bit of wreck. I might as well just get all of that orange section out. No reason to keep that. And I guess that's the positive part about it being all plastic. You can just cut right through it. It's not going to look great, but we're not trying to win any beauty contests. Just want to be able to get that out of there. Let's try something a little smaller. Yeah, this is more likely to be effective. This is cut through there on that side. A couple of these pieces out. And now just make our way right through this plastic here. And this thing has been chopped. And we pretty much took out that the dome, most of the dome, and the center section. And I might as well see if I can get in here and clip. Oh, might as well oh, here's another little piece we took out. So pretty much all of that orange section, we left in the part that is still attached to that pillar, but I definitely need to take that down a bit. So we'll see if we can just clip that off, and that doesn't seem like that's going to be a problem. All right, so we've got that off. The Turbo Sublime is taking, I mean, I'll be interested to see. We started off, it was 31.8 grams, and we've taken off a significant amount of plastic. There went some more flying off, and I think this needs to come down, but I don't see. Again, there's that little pillar you can see back there, and kind of don't want to go too far, but see what we can. The more plastic we can remove, the more grams. Oh, I should be wearing safety glasses apparently. This plastic is popping and flying off in every direction. Let's see. Sort of take a bigger chunk out right there. I am going to be on plastic cleanup duty afterwards, but you know, we're trying to get something accomplished. And even more, now I can see, now we've gotten all the way down to that pillar, and there it is. And it's not necessarily, I thought for a while it was holding something in place, but the like the axles are held in place. Basically, if I was going to try and change out the wheels, I'd have to drill through these points here. So this is actually not really holding much of anything in place. Just want to cut this down right there. And let's see now how much, I should have taken a before and after picture, but let's see how much weight we've been able to remove from the Turbo Sublime, trying to find a base for the video racer. So let's go ahead and see. Get this down to 0. The Turbo Sublime is now down to 29.4 grams. So 29.4 with the center removed. So we're able to remove basically about 3 grams, about 3 grams worth of plastic, and that kind of brought this down. I don't know if I can't see where this orange, well, the orange part is connected all the way to the back, and so I don't know that can be, I could pull that out, because the front section just came out and there was no issue there. But I don't think we'd be as lucky to be able to get the other part of this out without I'm trying to look underneath there to see how it's connected, but it's pretty much connected to this back part, and the back part is kind of sandwiched in there between the base and this upper white piece. So even though there's nothing really holding it in place anymore, it's just the pressure. Perhaps this whatever, if there's a bolt that goes all the way through here, I don't know, but this orange piece is being held in place. But it wouldn't, I don't think it would remove and take off that much as far as weight, but anything we can do to try and reduce the weight is going to be useful. So I'm trying to get in here and see if I can clip off a little bit more. Possibly. And I want to leave the white part, because that is where the camera would sit and the camera would be mounted. So if we keep this there, put the camera there, although now that I've cut off that piece, the camera actually is angled down slightly. So that would be straight, and you can see there's a little gap in the front right here, and then it actually sits, it drops down just a little bit. So we're kind of angled down, but I think just want to try and get out, and I don't know if it's possible to cut through to get that out, because I can make, in the orange part, I can make one cut this way, but I don't have enough access or leverage to make the cut across to get this piece out. So I think that will probably just have to stay, unless I can get this kind of wedged in there, which I can't. Yeah, it's not trying to come out. Not trying to come out at all. Let's see if I can put this in there and kind of pop it out. No, it is not is not interested in moving. Yeah, I'd have to make a cut across this part on the orange without really doing anything to the white part, which I don't want to do because this is where the camera would sit. So I think this is probably pretty good, about as good as the Turbo Sublime. We might be able to take a few, another gram or two off, but for the most part, we are at 29.4 grams, and that puts it not really. Well, let's see, because we've got this bricking delivery. This was 25.4 grams, and then that's not bad. So we've got 25.4 grams. So right now it's the bricking delivery, and then we have this zoom in is 35.9 grams. And so while I like that structure the best, I think that's the best setup to keep the wheels in place. Then, but it's too heavy. So then we have the Turbine Sublime, which we took from 31.8 after we cut through it and brought it down to 29.4. But still, we have, hey, Christopher, we were talking about this just earlier. We did check the skate grom, and the skate grom comes in at 22.8 once we remove the skater. And so this right now is looking like the best option. I'm just going to cut off these pegs so the camera can sit flat right there. And cut that one off and take that one off. So now we have these pegs off. And now the lip of the skateboard is going to lift up the camera. So now the camera is going to sit up a little like it's a little weird. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut these lips off there. Let's see if cutting those tabs off, did that make any difference whatsoever? It did. It took off 1/10 of a gram. So anything you can do to cut weight is apparently welcome change. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to just cut off these edges here, this lip. So there's the first one. Pretty clean cut. It's a good thing working with plastic. And another cut. So we've taken the lip off of the skate grom on both edges. I do need to cut, that's pretty sharp. But now we've got pretty much the perfect sled and bed for the camera. So let's see what this weighs now. And now we've taken it down to 22 grams. So essentially, we almost took off basically about a gram. And this makes this one by far the best, excuse me, the best option to be the base for our new and improved video racer. So if I were to take the camera and sit this on top, we are at 56.7 grams, and which is still heavy, but it's not. It's probably about as good as we can do outside of, this, the Video Racer base, and that. So if we were to do something with that, Then we're coming in at 42.5 grams, which is significantly lighter, but I would still have to add in something to raise up the camera. And when I did that, then now we're up to 48 grams, which is still lighter than the option with skate grom, but I think skate grom is a much more solidly built choice. And now, one thing it does not offer any protection for the camera. So for example, if we set it on the Turbine Sublime, I could set it back just a bit so that if there's any crash, it is going to be the front that takes the brunt of that damage. Right there, it would hit right here. Even if I moved it up, we would still have a little bit of play and a little bit of space. But with the skate grom, it is just providing the wheels and the support for the camera. So the camera is going to stick out in front. Now I could slide it back, but I have a feeling that might, I may try that. We could keep it back just a bit. Now it's a situation where I was very quick to cut off the lip of the skateboard. That might have been a good way to keep one of those on there to act as a bit of a bumper to sort of protect the camera. But like I said before, I really don't think that this camera is in any danger of becoming damaged with the impacts that would happen even on our track, because I think the weight is going to slow down the actual force, or it's going to lessen the force, and I think this camera will be just fine. So now just have to attach it to the skate grom. And so I bought a couple of things. I have these Scotch. These aren't Velcro. They're like these. I don't even know what you. They're just like these plastic tabs that kind of interlock when you press them together. And then this other one, I have the actual Velcro tabs. I'm not sure. Well, this one is listed as extremely strong, so maybe that's the option we want. Let's check these out first. Kind of know what to expect and what we're going to get from Velcro. So let's see what these tabs are. And it actually works out because they're perfectly sized to go right there on the camera, and pretty much perfectly sized to go on the skate grom. So I think this is going to be the option. And the way these work, as you can see, it's not Velcro, they're just these kind of plastic, a series of plastic tabs, and they just kind of press together. And once they press together, they are stuck and held together, and that's basically it. So it seems pretty simple, pretty straightforward. I think I'm going to just put one here on the skate grom and one on the camera, and we will see how this all plays out. But I do need to try and remember which. I don't want to do it on the camera upside. Okay, so this is the bottom of the camera, so we'll put it there. And maybe I should put two, just in case, so then I can kind of move this around. All right, skate grom first. Let's get this put on there. And slap this on right in the middle. Press it down. Although now I've got to see what the weight is. How much does this thing weigh? So we were at we were at 22 grams. Now we're up to 23.1. So this did add some weight. Let's see if it's accurate. Yeah, 1.1 grams. So what we lost with the lip, we gained by adding this on. And the thing is, I have to add another one onto the camera. So now we're pretty much going to be taking this up to 24 grams, which is, it's still better than what it could be. But if we use some other cars, so like with the Turbo Sublime, the problem I would have is where to put this to attach, because it's just not as smooth. So I think the Skate Grom is definitely going to be the best option. Now, if I put two of these onto the video camera, it'll give me the ability to kind of adjust where the camera sits on the Skate Grom, but then I'm adding 2 more grams. So let me crack out or bring out another of these. So we're at 23.1 grams. When we add the camera, now we're up to 57. And then if I were to add 2 of these, now we're up to an even 60. And that's very heavy for our track. But I think with the options we have, and if I just put 1, now we're at 58.9. So, the difference between that gram and a half. Hey, Roughshod. Oh, okay. So Roughshod, he's using these things to hold things on the wall. Yeah, I hadn't seen. I went looking for Velcro and found the Velcro, but then I came across these, and they seem to hold. So I'm gonna put these. I just gotta make sure I put them on the right side of the correct, on the bottom of the camera. So 1, 2. Okay, so this is the bottom. Put these on the bottom, and then we'll see what we already know. Oh, it's also good because if I do find some other Hot Wheels car to mess with and to adjust, or to try and use as a base, I can just use more of these things. So these little pads here. I'm double, triple checking to make sure that I'm putting this on the bottom of the camera. I don't want to end up in a situation where I've got this thing. All right, so this is definitely the bottom. And drop these in here. All right. So now we've got our little sticky pads here. Skate Grom is the solution. We cut off the tabs, we cut off the lips on the skateboard, and then I can pretty much adjust this. I think I would start off by having it just sit back just a little bit. And we are at 60 grams, that's where we're at. The other options, like I said, were just a little too heavy. We had the bricking delivery, which only came in at 25.3 grams, which is not a lot. So let's see if we take this, drop it on the bricking delivery. Where are we at? So we're only 2 grams higher. So what I think I'm going to do is I'll attach. Oh, well, actually, no, we're going to be more than that because we got to add in the other. So now we're at 63. So that basically 3.5 grams bigger. So, or heavier. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take this one, I'm going to attach it to this one. So we'll attach The little plastic. What is the plastic? What are these? I don't even know what these are called. Scotch extreme fasteners. I, I've never seen these before, but whatever they're called, these little transparent fasteners. I'm going to attach some here. So then we're going to have two. And then what we'll do is just end up running these down the track. I have this other thing that I bought about 2 years ago from a guy in Taiwan that basically it measures the speed of the Hot Wheels cars and it sits over the track. And the first it was pretty expensive and it's like a custom thing that he does and it works. But the first version he sent me, it had some design. There was a design problem, and I couldn't use it. And so I came back and told him about it, and he was really cool. And he made some changes to his design, so it actually works now with the track. And I can put cars on there, run them through, and check the speed. And this thing, you can plug it into your computer and it does all kinds of calculations and conversions with regard to the speed and everything. So I think what I'll do is put the camera on this one. And what are we up to? We are at 64.5 grams with all of the extra padding that's on there. So we've got that one. We've got the skate Grom. We have this one, but this one is just, the zoom in, it's just too heavy. And once I attach that, now we've got to be up. Whoa, let's get it to stay put. Yeah, 72 grams, that's way beyond anything that we could be reasonable about. Now, we do have the Formula Solar, but I just don't like the open wheels on this one. But it weighed in at 28.3. But now what are we? Maybe I was looking at the wrong one. Okay, 24. Oh, I know. It was 28.3 before we took this cover off. Once we took that cover off, then it dropped back down to 24.6, 24.7. And then what I would have to do is basically just cut this fin off in order to leave the sled part of the base. So if we're at 24.6, I want to know how much weight we'll save if we cut this green, what's wrong with me? The orange part off right here. So let's see if we can get this chopped. The plastic workshop here. Just trying to cut through this. Some of this stuff, some of this plastic is a little thicker than I would have thought. There we go. And does not want to come off. All right, so we cut that off. Get this piece cut off here. All right, now still got that little bit sticking up, but let's just see. Well, let me see if I can cut it off. Yeah. Once you get it up, just kind of get it started. It's not too hard to get all this off, but gets a little, sometimes gets a little stuck in there. But with this one already at 24 grams, I think that's a good little it's a good starting point. And now the plastic's just kind of mashing together. I can't get a good solid cut in there. Well, that was it, and there it goes. All right, so now we've cut this down. Let's see what it weighs now we were at 24.6, 24.7. We're now down to 23.7. So that actually puts it just a little bit above the skate grom as far as weight. But now we've got this part, and the problem is with the camera is that it would need to be, we need to keep it up off the wheels, and there's not really a way to do that. I'd have to put something in there to keep it up so that it's not rubbing against the wheels, and to keep it level. So I don't know if that's I don't know what I would do. I'd have to shave this down a little more and then be able to put something on there. But the problem is, once you start putting things on there, you start adding weight, and that kind of takes away from the whole point of the experiment. So I think right now it seems like we're going with one of these two. It's either going to be the bricking delivery, or it's going to be the skate grom. And so what I want to do is I am going to I got to set it up on the other track. Like, I have another track set up that is just for testing the speed of cars. So I think what I'm going to do is get that set up and put both of these cars on there and run them through and see which one ends up being the fastest, and whichever one is the fastest is the one that will become the new unofficial official Hot Wheels video racer. And I think if I had to guess right now, I would probably be going with the skate grom, because even if both cars would have the same camera, so that would be creating, a certain level of drag. But with the skate grom, it's pretty much just that little metal plate on the bottom, which is open, and then that little plastic part there. Now, if this part was open, that little silver plate, I think this would definitely get the nod. But it's there. So we've got the brick and delivery, and we will have the skate grom. We will have the camera attached, and once I get that other track set up, we'll come back and have a little showdown, test the speed. This other car, the other candidates, this one, the bottom of the actual video racer, this flimsy plastic, I'm just not feeling it, and I haven't figured out what I would do in order to raise the camera up so that it's not touching the wheels. So, and whatever I do would add weight. But the thing is, this is only 7 grams. So I could add things to it and still not come close to the weight of these others. So if I can find something to use instead of just this dice, something maybe lighter, then I'll do that. And maybe we'll have a third car that we put in the mix, because if I put the camera on the dice, let's see, what is it going to weigh? We've got the base, which is 7.8 grams. Add the dice. Oh. And now it jumps up to 13 grams. And then we have the camera on there. And now it's up to 50, which is still 10 grams less than what we get with the skate grom. So I might have to do this. The regular video racer, this whole thing, I'm not putting this back together because there's not really a point. It doesn't hold a charge. So it was cool, and we got a little use out of it. But it's dead. So we're gonna see what we can do with this sled here. If the dice is the only thing that I can think of to put there, then that's what I'll do. Maybe I should get something like round, for purpose like aerodynamics. So yeah, I might do that. I might have to go over to either Home Depot or Michael's or somewhere. Oh wait, do I have? No, don't have one here. And just get a little round piece, a little dowel, and just cut it down and put it there, and maybe that's the answer. So I think we might have 3. I will let you know, but so far the skate grom seems like it's going to get the nod. Then we've got the brick and delivery, and actually there's one more Lego for the black one. Turn the camera oh, I see what you're saying. Turn the camera vertical on which? Oh, on this one. I see what you're saying. Like, just do it like that. That's an option. I don't know how this now where's the camera? Let's see. The camera. So yeah, okay. You know what? There you go. Roughshod with the solutions. So, if we turn it like that, then this thing can just roll down the track just like that. So now all I have to do is just secure it on the sides. Or if I could find, let me see, I might be able to just take, I have these Velcro straps, and might be able to just slide, oh no, let's see. So I can't slide the Velcro strap under there because these wheels don't lift the base up high enough. But I just have to find some way to sort of strap this in. And if we can do that, now we're talking, because this thing is now only coming in at 44.6 grams, which is basically 16 grams lighter than the skate grom. So I just need to figure out how to attach it. Could I use? No. I think a strap of some kind is probably gonna be the answer. I just have to figure out what kind of strap that is. Maybe I could just twist some rubber bands. Well, see, it's not, the thing is, you mean cut smaller strips on the Velcro, or cut smaller strips of these, the Scotch things? Because the problem with the Velcro, these things. Let me see. Let me grab another one out of here. So I could take I see what you're saying. So I cut this. Just take one here. Cut this. All right, now, so you take one. So you're saying like lay it in there, and then there, and then just put some on the side of the camera and attach it like that. Okay, that would work. Now, well, here's my other question: is how do these Scotch things, do these come off? I know they're definitely not like command strips. So if I put them on the side, and we do this, and then this ends up not working out for whatever reason, is it going to be, do these things just pull? Do they just pull off? Yeah, they seem to, I guess. All right, so now we've got a third. So I might have to clear out some of these other little plastic parts so that this has something firm to stick to. Maybe just cut it down a little bit more, slide it in there. And then right here in the front, or I could just do a piece. Oh, I could just do a piece right there. And if I have one on the bottom of here, that might just be enough. Okay. All right, so it looks like we are going to have 3 options, although now we've made this taller. So we get into a situation where we might not be able to use that with even the taller acrylic cover. So I'll have to check the height on that, but I think there's definitely something we can do. So it's either going to be this thing sits in here sideways like that, or I'm going to get a little dowel about that tall, or you can't see, about just a little taller than the height of the wheel, and then just mount this right there like that. So we've got some options. I think we're definitely down to these 3. It's going to be skate grom, the brick and delivery, the base of the video racer, and one of these 3 is going to be the base for our brand new Hot Wheels video racer. So I think the next step is just to I'll have to get that other track set up so that we can see the speed and do the speed test and see which one of these cars ends up being the base. This one, like I said, this one is out. It's too heavy. It's a good setup, but it's too heavy. This one, we weren't really gaining anything with the weight, so that one is out. Turbo Sublime, it's still too heavy. It's at 30 grams, so I'll work with it and see if I can pull off any more plastic. But if I can't, then this one's just a little too heavy. So that one's pretty much out. So this is what we're going with. One of these is going to be the base for the brand new Hot Wheels video racer, and we will find out pretty soon. So I will be up here at some point. I'll definitely be up here tomorrow for Wind Tunnel Wednesday, 4 p.m. Pacific. And that is about it. After that, like I said, we'll be doing the speed test to see which of these is the fastest and which one's going to be the base for the new video racers. So for, I guess, At the Track Live Hot Wheels Workshop, for At the Track Live, for all about aerodynamics, Wind Tunnel Wednesdays, all that, I'm Coach James, and I will see you at the races.